Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam amma ba'd. Habatan fillah. I want to remind myself and my brothers and sisters, along with making tawakkul ala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal, that you have to take the necessary steps, as we mentioned. You have to strive to attain your goals. And I want to encourage our youth to strive to attain their goals. And I'm going to give you an example, because I know many people have made a hijrah, and many people have attempted to make hijrah, and the common denominator of those who were able to do it is they made tawakkul ala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They put their trust with Allah, regardless of whether they had degrees, regardless of whether they had a lot of money to fulfill their aims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for them. But what I've noticed from the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that those who make preparations, because tawakkul, i'timad ala Allah wa fi'l asbab, that generally they have an easier time and they have more options in order to fulfill their aims. Let's look at what I'm talking about. I know brothers that still live in Yemen, even during this time of great the war that's going on in Yemen. They're still there. We were in Yemen together in 1997. I met them, and they are still there. They've been there, 20 years now, and raised families and been through several wars, and they trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah has provided for them, but with great struggle and hardship. And that's what the path of hijrah is. And the path to attain Jannah is not easy. The path of talab al-ilm is not easy. Talab al-ilm, talab al-Jannah. Seeking knowledge is seeking paradise, if you have your intentions for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With that being said, I want to encourage our youth to be positive and to strive, to make efforts. That if you want to make hijrah, for example, prepare yourself with finances. Prepare yourself with education to get there. If you are on a long-term plan. And let me give you an example. Although I am not a muhajir, I will go back to my country, America. And I've lived in Saudi Arabia for about 14 years. And I lived in Yemen as well. And I will say, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then my degree and my degrees in education, this has allowed and facilitated things for me and given me many more options than my brothers who don't have degrees generally. It's with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ultimately. And that's the point. But at the same time, striving. So for example, for me to sit in Saudi Arabia this many years and to have paid vacations, to be able to go and make da'wah and do the things that I like to do and visit my family and be able to come and go, that has come with my education. A bachelor's in political science, a degree in teaching English as a second language, my other degrees which don't have anything to do with that, my master's in Islamic studies, doing a PhD right now in Islamic studies. Those don't have anything to do with it, but the point is that education gave me and many other brothers the means to be able to come to the land of Tawheed. Whereas others, you can't come just visiting Saudi and to stay here and to seek knowledge of the ulama. It's not very, I won't say totally impossible, but practically. There are some other means, but the bottom line is you need something. You need some wealth to be able to do that, or you need to have education to where you're coming as someone who's employed. So this is i'timad ala Allah, relying on Allah, wa fi'l asbab. I strove in 1999. I got my certificate to teach English as a second language because I wanted to stay. I wanted to try to get to Saudi Arabia. At that time, I was in Yemen, and I wanted to, or I was in America, but I was going back and forth to Yemen. And I knew that in order to achieve my longer-term aims, because I had a family, I was not going to probably get into the Islamic universities and things like this, that I needed to come another way, because I wanted to come, and I wanted to advance my Islamic studies. And Allah provided that and allowed for those means, which as with my education, to help me achieve those ends. So I hope this is clear. And this is in order to encourage our youth to not shoot themselves in the foot and think, no, everything is haram, and I'm not going to study, I'm not going to save any money, I'm not going to work there, I'm not going to work at the grocery store, they sell pork, I'm not going to... No, strive your best to have a halal means. We're not saying take haram means. But when you are educated, you have generally more options. That's the point. You have more options in general to where you can choose a more stable livelihood, perhaps. Or you can choose a more lawful livelihood, perhaps, bi-idhnillah. And we ask Allah the Almighty to accept our good and forgive our evil. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad.